everybody, welcome back to Tashi's World of Books and welcome to another book recommendation video. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. And so this is another book recommendation video. This is going to be part four or part five, something, of Webster's Dark Romances Deep Dive. I have another set of books to go through with you. I have 7 books to get through today, and then I think I'll have just one more series to do, and then I will be moving on to another author. So, having said that, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so this is The Glue. This is part of her Taboo Treats series. You guys, I absolutely loved this book. This is so good. So I told you I've done Bad, Bad, Bad. I did Coach Long. I did X-Rated Attraction, and then I went ahead and got into The Glue. And so let me say that this is a marriage in trouble. This is a second chance romance. This is a menage. This is MMF. And it is salacious and juicy and spicy and wonderful. I did not know that I loved MMF so much. Kay writes really good MMF. Her other MMF series is the Bound series. Bound Pulled Apart and Bound Together, I think is what they are. I can't remember. But I did them in the other. Anyway, she writes MMF so good. And this is a professor of economics and his student and his wife who owns a bakery in this town where all of the taboo treats come into play. So if you've read any of these books, you're going to see Easton, which is the biker pastor. You're going to see some of the other characters that are going to make sort of cameos in here. You're going to see his twin, that I believe that Mr. Blakely is about his dad, is in here as well. So there's lots of little treats. And again, these are just little morsels. You can eat them up like in no time. They're all on Audible or any other streaming service that you use. When I say this is a 5 out of 5, it is hot, it is spicy, it is steamy, it delivers in so many ways. It is good, you guys. It is really good. And so I absolutely love it. So please go check it out. So this one is He Made Me Stay. So it is the story of, so when it starts off, it's from Jasper's perspective, and clearly something has happened where a death has occurred, and it's Jasper's twin, and it's his last day. He basically has made a decision to commit suicide. And on that day that he commits to committing suicide, he meets Kit, a new boy at school. And the story sort of takes off from there, hence the term He Made Me Stay. They develop a relationship, they develop a friendship. Kit has an infectious personality. It also deals with, I like that Kit has juvenile diabetes or type 1 diabetes, so that is addressed. So he has to be careful of his levels and managing his health. So it's all about teenagers and managing their mental health as well as their physical health and how that impacts their lives and coming out and what it means to come out. There's other characters that do cameos where they are talking about their coming out process and being bullied as a result of several things and dealing with depression. And so I thought it was good. Again, it's very short. So for me, it was okay. It was a little young. It read young for me and for my tastes. So this was a 3 out of 5 star. It's good, and I like the subject matter that it deals with. And if you're dealing with, or you know somebody that is teenage years, angsty, trying to come out, trying to identify with the population and with the community, then I think this would be a great book to recommend. So it is, for what it is, it's decent. Okay, so then the next book that I want to talk about is Cocksure Ace. This is the story of a pilot named Camilo, and he meets Sheridan when their flight, he has to reroute the flight because they are in the path of a hurricane. And as a result, they're going to, she's on her way to go to Costa Rica to be at her father's wedding, and she's daddy's little girl. And let me tell you, she is a bitch. She is a rich, spoiled bitch. She treats everybody with disdain and disrespect, and she treats everybody as though they are her servants and are her staff. And so she's like dripping in head to toe, like Prada and Gucci and like, you know, Ferragamo and just like everything, right? And so she needs to learn how to respect others, but she also recognizes that she's not well liked and people don't respect her because of the way she treats people. Okay, so in our first meeting, when she meets Camilo, she is like talking down to him because she's like, this guy's a freaking idiot because he speaks Spanish, right? He doesn't speak English. And so she's like, hello. And it's like, in his mind, he's saying, I'm not deaf. Like, I'm not deaf. I get it. Like, I understand, but we just have a language barrier. But lo and behold, what she doesn't know as she's talking down to him is that he does speak perfect English. And she's just being judgmental and disrespectful. And so she basically meets her match with him, with Camilo. And so it basically is the story of self-discovery and newfound friends and the people that they get stranded on this. So they reroute the flight to Mexico. And he takes them to his family's village and his family's hotel. And so really it's about love and loss and friendship and respect and discovering yourself and figuring out what you want and finding yourself. And so Kay did a really good job of making a unlikable character relatable and likable. And once you discover who she is at the inner core of who she is, she's beautiful and she's wonderful and she's amazing. But she doesn't allow you to see that because all you see is this hard exterior. And she's also in this relationship with this older guy because she's obsessed with being daddy's little girl. And so she's in a relationship with her dad's friend, and he clearly is not into her and doesn't treat her with the respect that she deserves. And so she just has to find love of herself. And once she discovers this love of herself, then she demands that she's treated with respect, and then others respect her. And Camilo helps her to do that and helps her discover, but then he goes through some stuff, and so she has to support him. And so back and forth, it's definitely, it's a worthwhile read. So it's a 4 out of 5 star for sure. Okay, so then the next book that I read is Sheriff's Secret, and Sheriff's Secret is about Jax and Dante. And so what we see early on in this book is that Jax is the sheriff of the town. And so there are successive books about, you know, companion novels about many of the characters in this book. Okay, so Jax is the sheriff of the town, and he is gay, but he has not come out as gay. He's terrified of what the townspeople will say, and he's terrified of what his father will say. So he keeps this secret hidden. He has a previous relationship with Kian. I think his name is Kian. It's one of his high school friends, and he's been pining after Kian forever, but is too scared to act on it. Okay, so fast forward, they go to, the book starts off with them going to a town meeting, and Dante has moved in from New York. He's moved in with his sister and his youngest brother, and his youngest brother's name is Callan. So they've moved into town, they've bought an Airbnb, and he's gonna go to the Chamber of Commerce meeting because he has things that he needs to communicate with other business owners to enhance their businesses. And so as he's at this meeting, Dante meets Kian, and so he starts to flirt with him, which sets Jax off, because Jax is like, hands off, that is my man. And Kian is like, if you're not gonna claim me, and if you can't come out, and Dante's like, I know you're closeted gay, like, you gotta get it figured out, like, you can't not have him and then not allow anybody else to have him either. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too, you have to decide what you want. And so Dante is like, he pegs Jax right away. He's like, I know what you need, and he basically like gets him, and he's like, I'm gonna suck your cock. Like, he's like, I know what you need. I'm gonna give you what you need. And Jax is like what? He's like sputtering. But at the same time, he's like, yes, please. I absolutely need it. Anyway, to make a long story short, they delve into a secret relationship. But as secret relationships go, feelings ensue, things happen, and they gotta figure it out. And he's gotta come to terms, Jax has gotta come to terms with whether he is the man that he wants to be, and how does he become the man that he wants to be. And he's got to be honest about what he wants and what he doesn't want, and he can't be stringing Dante along, and they got to figure it out. And it's beautiful, and it's really well done, and I love it because it's so angsty. And there's stuff going on with Jack's brother Zach, and there's stuff going on with Dante's brother Callan, and there's a mystery going on because somebody is gay bashing, and you know, Callan is constantly being attacked, and so we got to figure out what's going on with that. And so there's lots of layers. There's damage done to the Airbnb. We don't know who's doing this damage. There's this homeless kid that's involved. There's so many layers, and it's a lot, and I love it because all the characters have stuff going on, so it keeps you interested because you want to know what's going on with each of the characters, and you want to know what's going on with the backstories, and you want to know what's going on with Kian and who he's dating, you know, and so it's really, really cool. It's really, really done. And there's Kato. He's like sort of like the comic relief. And so again, it's a really rich story, and it's fun, and it's comedic, and you're going to laugh out loud, and you're also going to cry, and you're also going to get frustrated. And so you should check it out. It's a 4 out of 5 star for sure. Okay, so the last series that I want to talk about that I absolutely love is the Text to You series, or the Lovers to You series. And if you love couples that are enmeshed and that are all up in everybody's business, they're all friends, they're newfound family, each book is about a different couple, but they're all like linked and connected and related, sort of like how it is in the Puck series, like where everybody, or the off-campus series, where like everybody's up in everybody's stuff, everybody knows what's going on, everybody's getting advice from everybody, everybody's communicating, everybody's hanging out, they're going to parties together, they're just together. This series is for you. So the first book is Text to You, and this is Ram and Danny's story. And it starts off because Danny breaks up with her boyfriend because he basically is cheating on her. And so to make a long story short, her best friend Andy snatches her phone and says, "You're done with this dude, I'm deleting his number." So she deletes him, but they get all reveled up because they're drinking, and so she's like, "You need to tell him this and that." So she can't remember his number, and so she tries to put a number in, and the number she puts in is a wrong number. And so she starts texting this dude and she starts telling him off, and as a result, he likes her spicy, spunky nature, and so things develop from there. And it is so good. There is so many layers to this story. It's so much depth. It's about depression. It's about second chances. It's about becoming friends. It's about supporting the people that you love. It's about revenge. It just has got so many layers, and I'm telling you, it is for sure really, really, really good. It's a 5 out of 5 star for sure. So then the next book in the series, so in this, Ram has a brother named Rome, and then Danny has a best friend named Andy. And Andy and Roman are hate fucking, basically. They hate each other. And Andy is a bitch on wheels. She's just a demon, and she knows it, and she's evil, and she's nasty. And Roman just eats her up for days. And so they're like on the sly, supposed to be on the sly, because everybody is like, what is going on with them? And like they're slamming doors and doing all kinds of drama. They just are hate fucking. So that happens sort of at the tail end of that book. And then that comes into Hate to Love. And this story is so good. There's a mystery component. Roman is trying to win over Andy. I'm not even going to talk about what the other piece of it is. I'm going to let you find out. But there's a part where Andy is such a bitch, and she's so nasty that you're just like, Roman, you're letting her walk all over you and beat you to death. Like, is this healthy? It works all out in the end, and there's times that you're pissed off at her, and you want Rome to step up, and you want Andy to stop being so hateful and so nasty, but then as a result of her being hateful and nasty, some terrible shit goes down, and you just are like, ah! Like, I want to hate her, but at the same time, this is wrong, and this is so terrible, and it just gives you so many feels and so many, like, emotions that are wrapped up in this book, like, that it's, oh my gosh, it's more than a morsel. It's like you've just bitten off, like, like, damn, I didn't even realize I was getting into this. So, so, so good. Check it out. Okay, so then the conclusion is Thieves to Lovers, and Thieves to Lovers is in this other books. Andy has a brother, and his name is Link, and Link comes around, and so as a result, we've got all this friend group, and so then Ram and Roman have a sister named Reagan, and Reagan becomes friends with Link, and this is a friends to lovers. So I love it. So you've got friends to lovers, enemies to lovers, and then this is just a random sort of finding love in unforeseen circumstances. And so this is their story of trust and honesty and being honest with yourself about what you feel and allowing you to follow your dreams without doing what other people want you to do, but doing what you want to do for yourself. And I love it because it's a culmination of all their stories, so you get to hear everybody at the end. And I love it because the very last chapter gives a chapter to all of the characters. You hear from Danny, you hear from Ram, you hear from Rome, you hear from Andy, you hear from Reagan, and you hear from Link. This is absolutely, so I'm going to say, in hindsight, these are both 4 out of 5 star, and this is 5 out of 5 because there's loss in here, there's struggles, there's just so much that comes into these books, and I cannot recommend this series enough as a contemporary rom-com kind of really just fun chick lit kind of series. If you love the off-campus series, if you love, you know, the Calloway sisters, if you love the Puck series, like if you like stuff like that, you absolutely will love this series. It is so good. So, you guys, that is all that I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And you know, I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.